Guys, welcome to Garage Bar Reviews, where today we're going to talk about Netflix original movie Bright, starring Will Smith and Joel Edgerton. Obviously, everybody knows who Will Smith is, but those who don't know who Joel Edgerton is, he is Uncle Owen from the original prequels of the Star Wars. So I watched this movie almost as soon as it came out. I was really interested in how Netflix was going to do this huge $90 million budget movie starring Will Smith. Let's talk about the good things about this movie, because that'll be pretty quick. One, it's filmed pretty well. I mean, I have no complaints with how it was filmed. It looks beautiful. It was done just fine. Most of the special effects also looked really, really good as well. There's a couple scenes that were just remind me of early 2000 ordeal. However, but most of the effects in there actually were done decently well. And that's about the end of it. Of what was good with this movie. When I saw the trailers to this movie, I first thought of Alien Nation. If anybody remembers that movie from the 1980s, where it also takes place in LAPD, where aliens come down after years of integrating with humans. One finally becomes a cop. No one wants him to be a cop. Everybody hates him. His partner doesn't want to be with him. Type of prejudice. That's exactly what I thought this movie was going to be about. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised that it really wasn't. When you get into this movie, you learn very quickly that with the elves and the orcs, that these are other beings that have been living on Earth with humans all along. It's nothing new to the humans. They've been there for thousands and thousands of years. So it's really like an alternate reality, still taking place in like our 2018. However, everybody knows about orcs and elves and fairies and magic wands. Nothing's new to them. However, magic wands is very rare, but everybody knows what it is, and no one's too shocked, in a sense, by this. So, what's this movie really about? Obviously, we have Jacoby, which is the first orc ever to be hired on as a police officer, and his partner's Will Smith, and no one's really happy about that. So, Will Smith is out there not really trying to get him fired, but he certainly doesn't want him in his car. You've got a huge prejudice to go on against humans, against orcs, and there is also a prejudice with elves against humans, against orcs. Elves are the normal, very beautiful, powerful, they all live in Beverly Hills type of a thing, where orcs are portrayed as more of, they are very tribal, but they're also in there as they're the gang members of this reality, along with the normal type of gangs that we see or about or seen in movies and cop movies for LAPD. So you have that little subplot going on. You also have this plot about there's this group of evil elves out there, and they need 3 wands to bring back the Dark One. We couldn't even give this guy a name, the Dark One. I don't know how much worse we can get than that. So they need the 3rd wand to do this. They've got 2 wands already. They're on the trail of a 3rd one. You have characters throughout this thing that mean nothing, that do nothing to bring this movie forward whatsoever. It's just, you have these 2 FBI type agent guys that are for magic. One is an elf, his partner's a human. They show up a few scenes here and there. They do nothing, absolutely worthless. You have a Hispanic gang in there, worthless. You have the main bad villains, which is this female elf and this male elf working with her. And I think they got a 3rd partner that tells you that's exactly how memorable they are, trying to get this wand. So Will Smith, his partner, Jacoby, so Will Smith's ward, Jacoby are out. They get a call. They answer. Basically, they shoot them up type of scenario. They find a magic wand. The movie is Bright. What is a Bright? What does it mean? A Bright is a being that has the ability to hold and use a wand. No one else can do that. The only way to find out if you are a Bright is by picking up a wand. If you're not a Bright, you blow up. As simple as that. So obviously no one really tries to pick up a wand because they don't want to die. So Jacoby and Ward come across this wand. Will Smith calls it in. His partners, his sergeant shows up. They want the wand for themselves. They want to set up Jacoby to take the fall for it. Will Smith is not down for this, ends up shooting all his cop partners to save Jacoby's life. Now they're on the run. So as they're running, now you have this Hispanic gang chasing them, because that's kind of where it took place, was down in their territory. They want the wand because their leader's in a wheelchair with a colostomy bag and he wants to heal himself. You have the evil elf chasing them, obviously, because they want the third one to bring back the Dark One. And then you also have the police chasing them as well, because Will Smith just shot 4 cops and there's other dead bodies in this warehouse. So this movie was a mess, just a plain mess. This whole movie takes place in one day. From the moment it pretty much picks up, the whole movie is from when Jacoby picks up Will Smith in the morning, and it goes all the way through to the next morning when they wake up after all the fight scenes and the shootings. They're in the hospital beds. They just threw out any type of reasonable timeline what would really happen. So they have this other subplot going on with a prophecy that the Jacoby is the one, that Will Smith, they make it very known real quick that he is probably a Bright himself, because they make a comment that only 1 in every 1 million humans is a Bright. We know what's going to happen at the end. Guess what? Will Smith has to pick up the wand to save him and Jacoby at the very end, and he's a Bright, and that's almost pretty much where the movie ends. That was it, guys. And how this movie started, as in the real action scenes at this warehouse where they find a wand, is where this movie ends, at the same place, at the same night, where Will Smith shot and killed 4 cops, shot and killed the guy that was firing on him. There is an elf that was dead there, and several other bodies. However, when they come back later on that night, later on that morning, everything's done, everything's cleaned up, there's no more police there, there's no ambulances, there's no detectives, there's no investigation, no crime scene tape, nothing, just everything's obviously done. Makes no sense whatsoever. This movie was just, it was a mess. It was visually just fine. The makeup was really good. I had no issues with any makeup. There were a couple scenes that you could tell that they filmed, that they just kept in, that were mess ups. One thing I noticed was there was a scene where they were going through this type of underground casino, and there's a dealer there getting ready for blackjack, and the dealer lays, like he fans out the cards on the thing. Well, as he fans them out, he messes them up. Like they don't quite go all the way out, they get stuck, and there's a big gap, and the rest of them go. And they just left it. This professional dealer messing up, fanning out the cards on the board. What, we couldn't refilm that? Hey, buddy, can you make sure we do that again? Take 2. They just left it in there. There was just, Will Smith just really phoned this in, and there's a couple scenes where he's just doing his typical Will Smith type voice and look. I felt that I got no ending to this, to me at all, no ending whatsoever. So guys, check out the movie if you want. I thought it was very bad. They've already got set up for Bright 2. I guess what I'm most disappointed about was a $90 million budget, and this is what we got. A $90 million budget was just 10 years ago, a summer blockbuster. That was a summer blockbuster movie. It was $90 million, right around there. Netflix had the money to do this for a Netflix movie. I don't know where the money went. Makeup, I guess. A huge paycheck for Will Smith himself, I'm sure. But that's all I can figure. So guys, please, if you like this review, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. I got other reviews coming up very quickly, so please subscribe to my channel. I'll have more and more content on there as quickly as I can get it up there. Thanks for checking out this review. Please, on the bottom, comment. I want to hear any questions you have, anything you want to see me review. I really like to do the Netflix, Amazon, Hulu stuff, but I will be doing the big movie stuff. So please comment below. Tell me what you thought of the movie, what scenes that I missed that you thought were just absolutely horrible. Thanks a lot.